Hello friends, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Kayla and today I am going to be doing some thrift flips for you guys. Hello, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I have 3 items of clothing that I want to make some alterations to, and I'm hoping that these thrift flips will be quite helpful for you guys, as the issues that I'm going to be working with are quite common in the thrift world. So to jump right on in, the first thing I have is this dress here that I decluttered in my most recent decluttering video, and it is like one of my favorite dresses ever. However, it's really stretched out. So to remedy this issue, because my initial plan was to just remake this dress using a different material, but I was thinking it's really only stretched out sort of in the top area, so I could, in theory, shorten the strap area to make it fit a bit better. So we're gonna fix this stretched out dress. This skirt here was actually given to me by one of you guys and I really love it, but I think I want to shorten it a little bit. So we're gonna just be bringing the hem up on this, which is of course a really easy fix, but also one that we often see with thrifted items. Sometimes we find skirts we love, or dresses we love, but they're a little bit longer than what we would like. So really easy fix is to just chuck in a hem. And then this skirt here, I kind of want to do like a whole sort of remake situation with. This is a skirt that I love dearly, and I've had it for some time now, but it is very oversized for me, but the print is just stunning. So I am gonna cut this down and make it so that it fits my waist measurement better. Hopefully I won't have to do too much to make this happen, because it is a button front, so in theory I should be able to just move all of the buttons in, but then I would like to just cut off the excess fabric as well. So we're just going to be resizing this skirt. Now without further ado, let's jump right on in. Okay, so this is the first dress, and I guess kind of what we need to do here is bring these shoulder pieces in, so sort of like shorten them by quite a bit actually. And then, I mean, it is quite long. It did stretch out in this skirt as well, so I might go ahead and hem this one too. But the big concern here is just taking the shoulder parts up. So I'm gonna go ahead and pin those and just figure out sort of where we need to take them in by. So currently this is just one piece and there is no shoulder seam, but as you can see there's quite a lot of space here. This definitely would be easier with 2 people or a dress form, but you can definitely still do it yourself. I think what I'm actually going to do is just measure it and then pin it off of me. So it's about 5 inches. I'm just going to do about 5 inches on the front piece and the back piece so that they're feeling even, and hopefully that'll work. So I'm going to actually just take this off and then go ahead and pin it. And then again, the reason that this dress stretched out was because of how it was stored. So once I fix this, if it manages to work itself out and can be worn again, then I'm just going to go ahead and store this folded, because it is a slinky jersey knit. Okay, so actually after I took it off, I realized that I was still gonna need to sort of know where it started to meet, and I need it to meet about here. So I'm just gonna guesstimate with some pins, some clips, and of course I'll pin them together once I take this off and then try it on again. But yeah, I think that is gonna do. Yeah, and that's perfect, and that gives me like a perfect amount of seam allowance. So as you can see, this is much more fitted, whereas this is just like sort of drooping. Okay, I've got it all pinned. Hopefully the pinning is correct. I'm gonna just do some straight stitches all the way across so that you're basically just joining the front piece of the back piece. But then I'm also gonna do a zigzag stitch to make sure that all of the fibers are sort of trapped in and to help with fraying. Not that I think this would fray too much, but as a jersey knit, I wanna just give it that extra bit of structure. guys, this was such an easy fix. And so here we have it. Now it fits really nicely. I don't have to worry about like the sagging. Yeah, I'm really happy I decided to do this. I do think I might still want to try to use this as a pattern in the future to make other dresses out of more sturdy materials, but I'm so happy with how this is fitting now. I can finally wear it again. Okay, the next project is this skirt here. I think this skirt is really pretty. It's made of that sort of crepe papery material, and I really love the print. I do, however, not love this length on me. I'm about 5'3", 5'4", and this length is just like a little too short / a little too long. So like, if I was gonna wear it, it needed to either be a little longer or a little shorter. So it's just not quite the right length for me. So the pockets end about right here. And I was thinking that it would be cute to sort of cut it off just below this 4th button here. And I think that'll look really cute for like the summer and beach time and things like that. So I think that's the plan for this. Because I don't have extra fabric, I can't make it any longer. I could make it slightly shorter, sort of like right here, and that would be cute as well. But because of the shape of this skirt, it's a bit more up and down, a little less A-line. I think if it were a bit more A-line, that length would look really pretty. Because this is a bit more sort of straight lined, I'm gonna just go ahead and cut it at like the shorter length, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna cut it sort of around here-ish and leave obviously some space for a seam allowance. And then I think this will be a go-to beach skirt for me this summer.
To hem the skirt, I started by laying the garment out flat on the ground and then measuring from the top of the waistband down the center line until I met my desired length and left some room for seam allowance, about an inch. I then marked it on both ends of the skirt as well and then folded the skirt in half, matching the 2 points that I had marked together. I then cut across and made sure to cut my line so that I would meet the marking that I created in the center as well. And this gave me a clean hemline for my skirt.
Okay, so I just cut the skirt and I like this length I think a lot more. I am gonna go ahead and hem it. I think it definitely needs like a nice healthy hem, but then I think it's gonna be so cute for like little beach outfits and things like that. Yeah, it's giving like coastal granddaughter, which I'm really loving, and I loved last year for summer and I know I'm gonna love again for summer. And also this is just so much fabric. I feel like in theory, I could make a top out of this. It's definitely something I'm gonna come back to and definitely turn this into a top. It almost could make like another skirt, like a micro mini. So fun. It's a lot of fabric and I'm really glad that I can do something fun with this. But the next and final step for this skirt is just to hem it. Again, this is a really easy way to sort of manipulate skirts or dresses that you see at thrift stores that you like, but maybe the length is just a little off. You can always just cut the ends off and hem it. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can definitely hem something by hand. It does take a longer time. It's much more a labor of love, but it's very possible. To the sewing machine. I said to the sewing machine, but actually I need to pin this first. Okay, this is the skirt all hemmed. I love it. This is exactly what I had in my mind. Obviously, I probably wouldn't wear it with like black tights and gray socks. This is just sort of what I was already wearing today, but oh my gosh, I love it. I think it's gonna be so perfect for just walking on the beach and hanging out and I don't know, like beachy things. I feel like this would be so freaking cute to just wear while walking around a little beach town. Walking, or like wear it even as like a cover up over a bathing suit would be very cute. Anyway, love this. So happy that I did this finally, and really happy with how it turned out. Okay, the last task is this skirt. Now, this skirt was originally from the brand Venezia. Now, I've had this for maybe, I don't even know, maybe like 5 years or so. And since I purchased it, I've moved the buttons in multiple times, but I do feel like it's finally time to just revamp it so that it actually fits well. Right now, the buttons are all the way in here. So they've definitely been moved quite a bit. That's what I am gonna try to do with this. I think I'm gonna just see firstly if I can just cut a whole panel off, because I think I might be able to. Let's just try. Let's just try it. Well, I would love to not take this part off, so we can leave the buttonholes where they are. I wonder if I can literally just cut it a couple inches from where the panels are sewn together, and then fold it under to give it a bit more structure, and then just cut the rest of this off. So what I'm gonna do is just cut a straight line from top to bottom, about 3-ish inches, 2-3 inches from where the buttons are. Then I'm gonna fold it under and just stitch in the ditch and then reattach the buttons. So I'm gonna have to take the buttons off, and then it should be perfect.
So the first thing I did for this skirt was put pins where each of the buttons were so that I knew exactly where I needed to sew them back on, since I was going to have to cut off the panel that was right next to the buttons. After I put the pins in for the button placement, I took my seam ripper and I took all of the buttons off of the skirt. After that, I laid my skirt on the ground, and using a measuring tape and a water-soluble marker, I measured 3 inches from where the panels are attached all the way down the length of the skirt. If you were to recreate this flip at home, you would want to mark out where your buttons need to be sewn back on and then measure your seam allowance from there. I just happened to luck out that my buttons are being sewn on right where a pre-existing seam exists. I then cut off the excess fabric and turned the fabric wrong side up and rolled the seam allowance underneath itself 2 times to create a clean and finished hem. I then pressed and pinned the hem and then took it to my sewing machine and ran a line of top stitching down the skirt.
Okay guys, this is the final result for now. I am missing a button. At some point, a button fell off of this skirt. I don't know what happened to it. These seem like very particular buttons, but I'm gonna see if I can find some just mother of pearl buttons, either in one of the local craft stores or online. But for now, this is the final result. I'm so happy with how this turned out. We've got a fair bit of extra fabric. Now for this one, because of like the shape and directionality of the fabric, I don't think I can make like a top out of it, maybe like a halter top. But I was thinking I can make a really cute hair ribbon out of this. So let me show you how I make my hair ribbons. I used to have an Etsy shop, and I would make hair ribbons and headbands and polymer clay jewelry, and metal stamped jewelry as well. And a lot of the times I would do my own sewing projects, and I would have extra fabric, and I would just go ahead and repurpose that, because why not? So this piece right here doesn't have any sort of stitching on it. Right here you can see somebody had to patch the material. It seems like they maybe ran out and then had to add some here. But this piece right here is totally without any stitching. So I'm gonna just turn this into a really cute hair tie. So here's how you can use your cabbage or your extra fabric to turn it into a hair tie.
Okay, let's create a hair tie with these scrap materials. Using a measuring tape, measure and cut a rectangle out of your fabric. I like to use the length of my scrap material by 5 inches. I like that width. I think it looks really prominent in my hair. But of course, you can adjust this to be thinner or wider if you so choose. Once your rectangle is cut out, fold the fabric in half lengthwise, pretty side to pretty side. Press the fold and pin the opening closed. Then run a top line of stitches down the length of the fabric and sew one end of the tube closed at a 45-degree angle. Push the end of a paintbrush, chopstick, or in my case, a glass straw through the closed end of your ribbon and turn your ribbon right side out. Finally, fold the edges of the open end into the ribbon at a 45-degree angle and throw a few top stitches over the end to close the raw edges inside the tube. Press the ribbon and you are ready to wear it.
Okay, so a little last minute DIY. I have these shorts. They are a little bit too big for me. They kind of just like sag a little bit and look a little bit funny. But I was thinking if we could turn these shorts, which people often confuse for a skirt, into an actual skirt, then we can resolve the issue. Because I'm just like too obsessed with this print to get rid of them. And I think this could be a really fun way to repurpose these shorts. And this can also be a solution for you guys if you end up, maybe your body changes, you have a pair of shorts that still fit around your waist, but maybe they are ill-fitting elsewhere, and you guys can turn them into a skirt. So this is gonna actually be quite simple. I'm just gonna take a seam ripper and seam rip the seams here in between the legs. I'll see if I can literally just sew it together. So let's do that.
So like I said, here I am just ripping the seams out from in between the legs. You don't need to touch the seams anywhere else, just right where the legs sort of attach to each other at the crotch. Okay, so as you can see, this actually goes at like a pretty decent angle right here. So if I just like follow the line of this angle, this was where the pant leg met. So like the crotch area. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and try to follow. It is slightly curved, so I'm just gonna try to follow it as best I can. So probably like that. I'm using a highlighter just so you guys can actually see it. Yeah, so this is where we can pin the two pieces together. Once the two pieces have been pinned together, I'm just going to throw a line of stitches down the line that I had traced out. You can again do this with a sewing machine. You could also do this by hand.
Okay, now that I have both sides sewn together, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut off the excess fabric. Normally I would recommend trying it on first before you cut off the fabric, but I just went for it really. Okay, now we can flip it right side out and try this baby on and see if we like it as a skirt. Okay, I do actually like it quite a bit. The seam down the center is a little annoying, but the fabric's still loose and flowy that like you don't really see it. Now this skirt is still a little big on me, so I think I'm actually just gonna take it in by a couple of inches in the back. And so for this, what you can do is take the whole waistband off, but this is an elastic waistband. And the elastic is sewn into the waistband. There's like some top stitching on here. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and flip it inside out and sew pretty side to pretty side. I think I'm gonna take about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches off, and then it'll be a better fit.
So to bring the skirt in, I'm going ahead and adding pins about 1 inch from where the initial seam is, all the way from the top of the waistband to the bottom of the skirt. Once I have it all pinned, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this to my sewing machine and again throw some top stitches in. Definitely be careful when working with bulkier sections like near the waistband. I definitely did break a needle and had to switch it out, so pay attention to the tension on your sewing machine. If you're using a sewing machine, I had to lower the tension as to not break another needle. But once I had it all sewed and in place, I tried the skirt on and then cut off the excess fabric once it all looked correct. From there, I also added a line of zigzag stitches on the end to prevent this fabric from fraying.
Okay, here's the final result. This DIY is so heavily dependent on whether the front center seam would bother you. I think it looks so cute. And I think that the back turned out pretty good. I don't think it's like exceptionally bulky. I think it looks really cute. It's like a cute little summery skirt now. Alright friends, those are all of the DIYs that I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you found these thrift flips helpful. I tried to pick some that I felt could address some pretty common things that we find out in the thrift store, or even with clothing that we buy brand new and maybe we just need to adjust so that it works better for us. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I'm not a teacher by any means, so hopefully my instructions were clear. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below and I will try to answer them as best as I can. But overall, I'm really happy with how all of these thrift flips turned out, and I'm excited to get to wear some of the pieces I hadn't been able to wear and to repurpose some pieces that just didn't work how they originally were. Aside from that, I hope you guys are all doing well. Again, don't forget to subscribe down below. It's totally free, and I'll let you know when I upload new videos, which is every single Wednesday. I upload fashion-related content every single week. This year, we're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so don't forget to subscribe. As I said, again, feel free to like the video if you enjoyed it and found it helpful, and feel free to comment down below what your favorite thrift flip was or which one you found to be the most helpful. You can also follow me on social media if you haven't already. I'm pretty active on Instagram and TikTok. And with all of that out of the way, don't forget it costs absolutely nothing to be kind. So be kind to yourself and others, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.